StockGuy, you might have said this earlier, but should we wait to buy still?
Bear gang till I die, ho. Swooped up the homies and we about to start a sideshow.
See, this is what bothers me about the mainstream media, okay? This is what bothers me, okay, about this. Yesterday, we saw Kramer saying that anybody who was buying is stupid and that this was, this was how it was over. He was all serious, and now he's saying buying here or how can you not start buying here? Okay, it's just so Stupid. Remember, this is also the guy who 2 weeks ago on Tuesday, after the first dip, said, you've got to buy here. This is the best time to buy. You have to buy. 20% lower in selling. He finally goes, okay, maybe it's time to sell. A day later, it's this. My man, stupid question, very new to stocks in general. Is it a bad idea to buy a Boeing stock? Right now, I mean, I can't, okay, remember guys, everything I say is an opinion. Okay, I'm not giving you specific financial advice. That's not what I'm doing. This is an education entertainment show. I don't think we've bottomed out in the market. I told you guys this back in March. Okay, all right. If you go back into my Twitter, you'll see that we've been talking about this heavily. This was from March 1st. Okay, on March 1st, there was a big buy up in the market, and everybody said, "Oh, we're just correcting. That was a correction. We're back on our way into the bull market." Everybody on this channel, we knew that we were nowhere near the sell-off. Okay, we're talking about SPY was at $320 at this point. Okay, it's at $258 right now. We knew that there was a lot more to come. There's still more selling to come, okay? The tourism, $1 trillion in tourism in Europe is wiped out, okay? Gatherings are going, parks are closing, companies are withdrawing their forecasts and revenue. We haven't seen the first quarter revenue numbers, and we haven't even seen the slowdown in GDP yet. I don't care how much the Fed is trying to pump this right now. Unless an act of God comes in, there's no way that we don't keep going down further. Now, I don't know. Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball, but I think we're nowhere near the bottom out. I think we're not going to bottom out until at least April. I think we're definitely going under 240 on the SPY. But like I said, anything can happen. You're talking about a Federal Reserve that can inject $1.5 trillion. That's over our annual military budget, guys. $1.5 trillion is higher than the GDP of like the next, or like 10 countries or something. It's insane. What will state of emergency do? Cause stocks to go up or down? It just depends on what he's saying. Does state of emergency generally means that it allows the president to tap into funds that are allocated for these things that normally he would have to go through Congress to get approved? So here's the problem. Everyone and their brother and mother is just throwing money at the problem. It's not going to help. Let's say we did hit the bottom. Let's theoretically say today was the bottom, right? Everybody wants to jump in because I don't want to miss the bottom. I don't want to miss the bottom. Well, I have a theory that says I would rather miss a few potential dollars on the way up than lose dollars on the way down. You jump in here and it's not the bottom, guess what? You lost money. You don't jump in and let's say it is the bottom and you miss a couple, you know what I mean? That's just me though. I'm not telling you guys how to trade. I'm not here to give you advice. I'm here to give you an opinion and entertain you and educate you. When GP numbers come out, this will not go well. I agree, Bliffy. True, I'm losing on the way down right now and it doesn't feel good. Well, a lot of people have come into the channel over the past few days and the past week that are new here and have been like, hey, I'm buying in now. I think this is the bottom. And I'm like, you know? GDP numbers are already priced in. Actually, that's not correct, SAF 18 Hornet. They can price in manufacturing and production line numbers that are missing, but tourism and local economies. Remember when Ultra and South by Southwest got canceled? And I told you guys this was just the beginning? And expect the rest to keep coming. And then we saw Coachella, and then we saw TwitchCon, and then we saw, you know, all the, like, the livestock festival in India. These things continue to happen, and you have to understand, from a microeconomic level, this destroys people. 20 million people in America have multiple jobs, and a lot of those jobs are at working events, working at the stadiums where the NBA plays or the NHL plays, and stuff like that. Guess what? They're not getting paid now with all of these cancellations. Well, guess what? Now they're getting further in debt. And that money's not flowing into the local economy. And when 1,000 local economies don't have money flowing into them, it doesn't flow up either. There's a lot going on that people don't understand. Microeconomics is hard to price in. Exactly. And that's why this stuff hasn't been priced in yet. Hey, Stocky, do you have any stocks for anal plugs? I was told you were one to go to. I should have read that in my head before I read that out loud. Stocky, if you're all in cash right now, what's your plan of investment? So when my stop loss hits, and, oh yeah, Josh, there's casinos. We've been shorting casinos along with everything else for the last 2 weeks. What am I doing? So I won't re-enter the market until I actually, see, you know, a bottom happen. How will I know when the bottom is here? I don't know. I imagine the bottom will probably be in April into May, because that's when Q1 comes through. They price in GDP and growth slowdown, and when the virus, if it follows normal viral predictions, will go in dormant during the summer. Therefore, we should see a buy-up. I'll probably re-enter the market at that point, but if I do, I won't just throw all my money in. I will leg back in. I will need to see at least 2 to 3 days of a higher close than open with good volume. And at that point, if I feel like we're at the bottom, I will start re-entering, but I will start legging back in. Now, what does legging mean? It means entering a portion at a time rather than everything at once. In case it does turn around on you, then you won't be completely wrecked. But I really think we're heading into a recession, guys. And the other thing that you guys that have never traded in a bear market have to understand, that bear market doesn't necessarily mean that we're always going down. So you're like, oh, Stocky, if we're in a bear market, I'll just bet against the market every day and make money. It's not how a bear market works. That's why bear markets are so tough to trade in. You can have one day of 5% up, the next day 5% down. 5% up one day, flat the next day, 2% up the next day, 5% down the next day. Bear market trading is either just grinding for the long term or making quick day plays and riding momentum and getting in, scalping, and getting out. So for those of you guys who've never traded into a bear market, this is going to be an amazing learning experience for you. For those of you guys who have never invested, but you want to invest and then you thought about it, guess what? When we finally find a bottom, you're going to be able to get stocks at a discount, okay? But if you've never traded, you've never invested, and this is your first time ever doing it, stick around this stream, stick around with this community, stick around our Discord, hang on for a little while, and you're going to be able to buy stocks at an absolute discount. So if you had $1,000, you know, if you had $200, $250, you know, a month ago, you could have bought one share of VU or SPY, right? There's a chance you might be able to buy 2 shares. Okay, that's basically doubling your investment.
I love you.
You know, we're already talking about airlines getting bailed out. Like I told you guys, once we do find a bottom, whether it's beginning at the end of the spring, beginning of the summer, airline cruise, especially airline stocks, are going to be one of the best ones. Even Boeing is going to be one of the best ones to buy because those government bailouts are going to come in. Those stocks are going to explode. Oh yeah, dude, Europe is screwed, dude. $1 trillion in tourism alone, gone. Talk about gold. Why is it not doing what it's supposed to? Gold isn't supposed to do anything. Remember, when people move from equities into commodities, gold goes up, right? So when people are trying to transfer their wealth around, it'll go up. When the market goes down and gold goes down, and even bonds, if they start going down, that means you have what's called total liquidity. That means people are just pulling their money out. They're not transferring, they're pulling out. Now, what does a state of emergency mean? All a state of emergency means is that it allows funding to be opened up that's been set aside for these things. That generally is money that's priced in or allowed to be used. Now, obviously, it's negative because it's coming at a time where the Federal Reserve and central banks are throwing $1.5 trillion at the markets, trying to just throw money at a problem that's not going to go away. Guys, you know, yay, we're up 4% on the market today. We're still down 22% from 2 weeks ago, okay? And this isn't over yet. All these, we've been tracking this for a month and a half. We've known what's coming. We've been betting against it, you know, the same way. We know what's happening. This is just a short-term solution to a long-term problem. Okay, and by throwing more and more and more and more money at the problem, all it's going to do is cause more destruction down the road. Okay, they're trying to float it to give consumer confidence, hoping that the panic and the you know, the people stop going out and all of the, you know, the gross domestic product reversals and all of the production and consumer spending catches on, but I don't think it will. and we're gonna push ourselves, instead of a recession, which I'm not saying is gonna come, but it's pretty close to getting here. We're gonna push ourselves from recession into a depression with hyperinflation, and that scares me a little bit, guys. That's why I told you guys, if you you own a mortgage or a lot of student debt or lots of credit cards, it's very, very important to consider refinancing. I have a mortgage calculator in the Discord under the Learn section, along with all of the information about information about IRAs, 401ks, HSAs, retirement accounts, trading, investing. It's all in there for free for you guys. Please utilize it. But understand, one of the things is that interest rates are at all-time low, and they might go even lower next week. You might have a 5.5% interest rate on your mortgage or higher, and on your student loans as well. You might be able to go refinance that for 2-3% less. That could save you between $100,000 to $180,000 on the life of your mortgage. You may not have known that. You're welcome. Go get it. Wouldn't it be bad to be in cash in hyperinflation times? Yes, but I wouldn't be in cash for that entire time.